Hello, YouTube. Welcome. It's Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. And y'all, I've been having some sound issues. So I just want you all to put in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, I'm going to talk about crossover singer today, becoming a crossover singer. And if you could just let me know if you can hear me. All right. Excellent. Thank you, my friend Jessica. Thank you so much, darling. All right. The sound is back. So let's roll. So today we're going to talk about becoming a crossover singer, guys. And I tried to do this yesterday, but the sound didn't work. So I was like, let me come back and do it. So this is especially for classically trained singers that are wanting to be cross. Okay, so when I use the term crossover, what I mean is that you sing classical music, but you want to start exploring commercial music like pop and like jazz and like R&B. You want to learn how to sing that stuff. When I use the term crossover, that's what that's referring to. Okay, so there are three things that I want to talk to you about. The first thing is your mindset around being a crossover singer. The truth is, if you were not raised listening to Western classical music, you are already a crossover singer. So that's the first mindset shift and revelation that you got to lay hold to. You're not trying to become a crossover singer, honey. You already are a crossover singer. And especially if you were raised and born in the United States of America, Western classical music is not what we heard on the radio. That's not really what we heard in movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know they do some orchestral soundtracks, but y'all know what I mean. We were raised on American pop music. That's the sound aesthetic that you are used to. Do you know what I'm saying? So you became crossover when you went into a university and trained as a classical singer. That was your crossover experience. All right. So I just want to encourage you guys and let you know that you're not trying to become necessarily a crossover singer. You already are. Okay. So the second thing, as we're learning how to grow, I'm going to say growing in being a crossover singer, is that we have to develop a discipline to cross train. And this has two aspects to it. You got to cross train vocally as well as orally. Okay, so let's talk about vocally. When you're cross training vocally, the first thing that you're going to have to do is reconnect with your speech level singing. So y'all know classical singers, we are taught to sing, head voice dominant in classical. That's the style aesthetic, but that is not speech level. Head voice dominant singing, we don't speak like this. That sounds ridiculous. Do you know what I'm saying? No, you got to reconnect with your speech level singing, right? Just singing being a natural extension of your speaking voice. So here's some easy examples so you can just get a feel for what that's like. Okay, so naturally, when we see little babies, newborn babies, cute little toddlers, what do? Oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my God, she's so cute. Look at the baby. That's a falsetto right there. Okay, everyday sounds that we make unconsciously without even thinking about it, those are singable. Another one, chest voice, right? If you've ever been around a child that was maybe misbehaving and you wanted to kind of snatch them in line, do you know what I mean? Get them to act right. You might say, if I have to tell you one more time to sit down and stop, okay, that right there is chest voice. All right. Another example of belting. Okay, say that you see an Uber, or a taxi, if you still use taxis, and you want to say, hey, stop. You're trying to yell across the street. Hey, stop. That's your belty chest voice right there. Okay, easy everyday stuff. Mixed voice. So if you want to say something like, hey girl, what's up, girl? That's a mixed voice, okay? So that's what I want to bring to you. We've got to start connecting those everyday sounds that we make without even thinking. We got to start associating those sounds with singing again. That's the first step when we start cross-training from classical to commercial, okay? Again, because the goal of commercial music is conversational. You can't speak up here and be conversational. No, that's classical. That's presentational. We want to get to that conversation level, and that's going to come through your speaking voice. Okay. So that's the first step. The second thing with cross training vocally, guys, you're going to have to master the skills of mixing and belting. These are foundational skills that every contemporary style artist that does it to a high standard, you got to know how to do it. You cannot go in there straining, struggling in chest voice or flipping into a weak falsetto when you're trying to sing this commercial music sounding operatic. Like it can't happen. You got to learn how to blend those registers, how to sing in the passaggio or sing in the bridges, right? Fluently. You got to learn this stuff, and then you got to know how to belt sustainably. And I talk about these things in my basics of mix and belt course that I'll mention at the very end. Okay. So those are like the two subcategories under cross training, the vocal portion. Now let's talk about the oral portion. The way that you train orally is you have to make it a priority of listening and mimicking. Okay. So what I mean by that is whatever style you want to explore, if it's pop music, if it's jazz music, if it's country music, if it's folk music, if it's bluegrass, I don't care what style it is. If that style aesthetic is not in your ear because you didn't grow up listening to it or you haven't heard it much, you have to do something, what I like to call, it's like an immersion method. And what I mean is you got to immerse yourself in the sound and the atmosphere and the culture of that music. So whether that is going to live concerts, creating a playlist, that you can use from YouTube of people that sing in this style, and you got to just sit in it and let it get in your bones, what I like to say. You got to let it become a part of you, so when you go to sing it, it just naturally comes out. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by training orally. We have to prioritize listening and then mimicking. So once you listen and get it down, the nuances of the style, then you got to go try it out. And mimicking is a fabulous tool to use because it's almost like you're in an actor kind of space. You're not all in your head about what you sound like. You're making sounds you usually don't make, so that can kind of, stress you out. Like, no, you're just imitating. You're just mimicking. So here's an example. Or I guess a question that I had that was so good. I had a guy to ask me, how do kids or young people learn? He said R&B, but it's not just R&B. It's non-classical styles. Like, how are they learning this stuff? And I told him some things are taught and some things are caught. Okay. So the way that these kids are learning this music, and people learn music that is non-classical, because again, the commercial music, a lot of time, it's not notated like classical music. It's not no sheet music. You just got to be in a tradition where that stuff is passed down orally. You get it in your body, you get it in your ear, and then you get that impartation and you can produce after it. That's really what it is. And so that's what I told him. They're sitting in environments, they're hearing, they're mimicking, because kids are fabulous mimickers. They're mimicking and they can do it. So that's how you learn. Okay. So anyway, you have to prioritize that style of learning when you want to cross train. It just makes me think when I was in college and I was studying classical music, and of course our teachers did not want us touching commercial music. They definitely didn't want us singing it. They didn't approve of it, whatever, right? But, I grew up on gospel sounds. I didn't grow up on Western classical. So I would be singing, let the bright seraphim in burning rule, singing Handel at school. Then I go home at night and I'm singing Dorinda Clark. I am still here. It's by the grace of God. Okay, so I was already cross-training and didn't even really realize what was going on. But that's what you have to do, guys. And it's such a beautiful process because we are vocal athletes, right? So you want to train to be able to sing that classical music and have the flexibility and the vocal cord coordination for that. But you also want to be able to switch off like an athlete. You want to be flexible. You want to be strong. You want to have endurance. You want to be fast. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what this cross training is going to equip you to do. It's going to help you to be a stronger, more efficient vocal athlete. Okay. So that's the second step. I know that had little subsections, but let me know if y'all are not clear. Welcome to those of you who are joining. Let me know if you have any questions. That's the second step. And y'all, the third step, the final one, You got to check in with a skilled coach, okay? You have to. When you are learning this crossover stuff, your brain and your body is not used to making these certain sounds, you know? You're used to doing kind of one track, which is classical. So you have to invest in a coach. You got to create the time and find the money, do whatever it takes to get a coach to ensure that you're not doing it wrong. Because the last thing you want is to be singing a pop song, going in thinking you sound fabulous, and you up there sounding like a classical singer. Like, don't be that singer. Please don't be that singer. Get you a coach that can validate the sounds, a coach that is up to date with current industry trends, that knows the sounds. Do you know what I'm saying? And let them affirm what you're doing. Okay. So those are the 3 steps as we are growing and becoming confident crossover singers. The first thing is that you have to set your mindset up to know you are already crossover. The second step is to commit to cross training, that's vocally and orally. And then the third step is to invest in a coach that can confirm or affirm that what you're doing, the sounds you're making, are correct. Okay. So that's that. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to tell you about my course. Here's my water. And then I'm out. Thank you guys for joining me today. Let me know if you've got any questions. I don't see any questions so far. So today is the final day to register for my Basics of Mix and Belt 4-week course. This course is specifically designed for professional level classical singers as well as contemporary vocal artists that want to work on that vocal cross training that I mentioned, that technique part, the foundations. You got to know how to mix. You got to know how to belt. And in my 4-week course, I walk you through what mix is, what belt is. You get an opportunity to do it because I'm not just talking. Y'all gonna hear some lecture, but you also gonna do. So there are master classes within the course, and I give you a ton of exercises that you can use to go set those coordinations in your vocal course. And then you also have an opportunity to check in with me within the course for no additional fee. So it's the straight up hookup. It's the most efficient price you're going to get to work with me and access me one-on-one. So if you're a professional level classical singer or a contemporary style artist and you really need to firm up your mixing and belting, you want clarity, you want confidence, and you need more competence, I want you to DM me belt on Instagram. Today is the last day, 11:59 p.m. Eastern, honey. You go on the site, it ain't going to be no option. You can't register no more. Okay, so DM me belt on Instagram, or you can go to the link in my bio and just click it and apply for the course. Okay. And that's it. All right. Any questions, guys? Replay watchers, thank you for watching, and y'all can feel free to leave your comments and questions in the chat and I will respond. Don't look like we have anything. So yeah, that's it. So guys, thank you. Message me, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this information with others. If you've got singer friends, you know, that are working professionals, and the industry, especially y'all opera singers, honey, y'all better wake all the way up, because the industry is really demanding that you know how to do more with your voice than sing an opera aria. I'm telling you the truth, okay? So let's come on and be ahead of the curve. Get these skills that you need. What is my Instagram? It's Amplify Vocal Studio. That's my Instagram handle. And you can follow me over there. You can message me if you are a professional level classical singer or professional level contemporary singer. This course is not for beginner singers. So when I say beginners, I mean those of you who have not yet had your foundational voice technique laid, okay? If you're still struggling with breathing, if you haven't really done stuff to balance the vocal cords, you know, if you still got breathy tones and stuff, you don't have that kind of stuff done, articulated, there are basic components to vocal technique. If you have not done that, then this course is not going to be suited for you. This course is for people that already got a foundation laid and they trying to elevate and go higher. Okay, that's who this course is for. All right, guys, I'm not keeping y'all more than 15 minutes. So thank you for joining me live. Replay watchers, I love y'all. Leave something in the chat, a comment, a question if you got it, and I'll be back soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.